What's going on, guys? My name's Tyne, and today's message is going to be about direction. So to begin with, I often get, and I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people from, the ages 7 to 70 all over the world, and a common conversation or thing that happens in the conversation is people say, wow, Rowan, you have a lot of direction in your life. It sounds like you have a lot of clarity and a lot of just connection with who you are and what you want to do with your life. And if they're older than me, oftentimes I hear, and when I was your age, I was just doing this, or I didn't have that, so it's cool. And I really appreciate that. That's great and everything. And I also know deeply what it feels like to feel aimless and to feel like I don't have any direction in my life and like I don't know who I am. And the thing is that that's such a common experience in the modern world for us as young men and women, because we're not taught, or we're not really a part of a culture that offers us something more, that offers us more intention, more purpose, and also more fulfillment and happiness in our lives. And so that's actually a big thing that I like to bring it back to with like the online classes that I have, and with my own personal life and the way I live, and also the way I believe that more people get to live, because it's really fulfilling and really awesome and really inspiring. There's this inspiring feeling from the inside when we have direction, when we know who we are, what we want to do with our lives, and we know how we want to live and serve the world and be a part of this greater whole, instead of living meaningless lives, unfulfilling lives where we don't really have any deeper connections with ourselves, with other people around us, with Earth. And I think this is a really important thing, because it's a big reason that there's so much depression. There are so many people lost in lives, so many people self-medicating and hiding from a bigger life. So the way I like to live is by beginning with the end in mind, and it's a principle that I first learned in this book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And it's an incredible book with some deep principles that go so much beyond business and everything. It really goes to the core. But the concept of this is to begin with the end in mind. That's why I talk about death a lot, because we need to, and to really live life to the fullest, we need to deepen our experience and our relationship with death. And that contrast allows us to feel more of the richness and a deeper experience of life. So I'm asking you to get closer to your death and stop avoiding, if you notice, because we're all afraid of death on some level, even if it's just a purely physical level, but usually it's a lot more than that. And to get comfortable asking ourselves those questions and going to that depth, going to that level, like, you're gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be here forever. One day I'm gonna have to leave my loved ones behind, or they're gonna leave me behind, if that's how we want to look at it. But that's a level of truth there. And when we become closer to death and our relationship with it, things that don't matter start peeling away. And then I see, how do I want people to remember me when I'm dead? How do I want people to remember me? How did I want to have lived then? And if we don't ask ourselves these questions about, what will I have wanted then we live a life of short-term pleasure and escaping, and we avoid things, and we don't live with more courage and deepen into our purpose and what we're actually here for, the experience that we were put here on this planet to live, and the medicine that we're here to give that's in our hearts. And so I'm asking you to get comfortable, or don't be comfortable with it, but go there anyways, and go into thinking more about your own death. and imagine your own funeral. And imagine the people that you love. Did you want to just have some mediocre relationship with them? Are there people in your life that you never say that you love? You never tell them how much you care about them? Do you not even let yourself feel that fully? Life is so much better if we live from the heart and if we let ourselves feel on that level. And it only can really happen when we know how much it's worth, and we only know how much it's worth when we remember death, memento mori. And so from that place of remembering death, then we can truly live fuller lives. And then we can truly have direction, because we know where we want to get, because we've seen the vision at the end. We've seen what we want to leave behind. We've seen how we need to be in the world if we want to create that, because then every day you're presented with the opportunity, okay, do I want to show up as that person that I will have wanted to show up as when I'm dead? Or do I stay in my comfort and security and not choose to grow, not choose to expand into that version of myself? And so immediately there's already clarity. You can either choose to follow the direction of who you really know that you want to be in the world, or you can choose to be in a lower version of yourself. And I do both, but I think at the end of the day, this is where I go, and this is how I live, and this is what I'm committed to. And I hope that you can also sit with that and come to your own conclusions. And if we stop avoiding death, then we can create a culture and a world, a society where we are living fuller lives, where we are more fulfilled, where we care more about others, where we express it, where we don't limit ourselves and hide out because we know that we're gonna regret it if we hide out. We know that we're gonna die with regret, which is actually the worst. I can't think of a worse thing. That's if I'm afraid of anything, that's it right there. Dying with regret? Knowing that you had this life that you could have really fully, capitalized on and fully experienced, and then you just took it for granted the whole time? That's heavy. That's heavy. And we don't need to have that. We can choose more. We are the creators of our own realities, and we don't have to create that reality for ourselves. We can live something so much better. And I want that for you, I want that for me, I want that for this entire world and for the future. And if we don't show up like this, how are we ever gonna, be able to give that to our children and the new generation that's rising up right now? So live it. That's what I'm trying to do. Alright, I love you guys so much. If you love this, please please comment down below what you loved, what you vibed with, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, if you're interested in taking the path less traveled and taking any of my online classes, direct message me on Instagram or add me on Facebook, and let's connect one-on-one. Let's get on a conversation, maybe a phone call, and let's talk more. We're meant to do this together, guys. I love you. Peace.